All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to call to order the Lakeside City Council meeting Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Got lots of new faces tonight, so welcome. All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, great. We'll move into roll calls, starting with Councilor Miller.
Councilor Miller here.
Councilor Harden here.
Terry McDuff here. Nikki Wood. Councilor Armstrong here. All right, all are present. Move on to item number 4 to approve the agenda. I have 4 amendments to make to the agenda. One of them, our first one is remove item 8B. Ordinance amending Title 8 General Offenses of the Lakeside Municipal Code and declaring an emergency. I'm also going to add item 11C to the executive session section pursuant to ORS 192.6602B. And then I will add an open session following that. Item 12A to approve an adjustment to the listing price on city-owned property located at 105 South 8th Street. I'm also going to remove item 6G, the financial statements from the consent calendar. They're not correct. All right, is there any other changes that need to be made to the agenda?
I hope not.
That being said, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
All right, Councilor Miller has made a motion to approve the agenda as amended, and Councilor Harden has seconded. Any further discussion? All right, we'll move into a vote, starting with Councilor Miller.
Aye.
Are we saying her
Names.
Oh, Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
McDuff, aye. Mayor Wood, aye. Councilor Armstrong, aye.
Councilor Ward, aye. Councilor Pointer, aye.
All right, motion carries. Agenda is approved. We'll move on to item number 5. We have a presentation tonight by Cheryl Young, the library director. Yeah.
Hi, thank you for letting us come to talk with you today. There are many of you I haven't met. And, I've been
Can't hear
here.
with the microphone.
Should be.
Do you know how to turn it on?
Hello? Oh, there you go. You just gotta get really close.
Thank you for having us tonight, and there are many of you who haven't met yet. And I've been at the library over 10 years. I would love to see some of you come to the library and see what we're up to. I brought my staff here tonight to introduce themselves and tell you about some of the things we do at the library. And also tonight, we have our library board here. And we also have the Friends of the Library represented tonight. And we all have a little something to say to you. But first of all, I don't know if you come over to the library, if you've been there years past, you will notice that we have worked really, really hard to make this place an inviting place for our community members. And we have a lot of things going on during the year. I am going to leave on this table some library card applications. I hope you all will take one and register to be a member of our library. And I also hope, like I said, to see. So if I could introduce my staff real quick here, and if you would stand, and they all have a little something to say to you. First of all, let's just start with Jane, if she would come up. She's going to tell you what video she has for the library. Is that Jane Atkins? Jane, that's most of them know. And I do a little of everything, but I'm also responsible for the web page for the library. And if you want to see it, you go to if you go to the city's website in the
Bear with me. It's the old Chambers computer, so it's a little slow.
So what kind of things will they find on the website?
So on the website, you'll find, right now, at the very top, you'll find
This is the only
something
way
that
I
says
can
look
do
to
it.
us on Monday. And for the holiday, you'll find information about programs that we have. Things
I
that
don't
the
have my
Coastline
glasses on,
Library
I
District
can-
has available free for their patrons. Different groups, there's a little tab for the friends, and then you can go over the list of friends. There's something for the library board, and you can get the minutes for the board meetings.
Okay.
You can get copies of various policies of the library and the American Library Association. And you will know that story time. There's no story that existed for next week. And then that's our, so if you.
Am I getting you out of funk?
You're good.
Okay.
So if you keep going, and so if you.
Go on.
Click on this tab, you'll see a picture of the staff and the staff room. And it also gets for books. Yeah, we'll get to that, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's policies, there's the.
Here we go.
Anyway.
Technical difficulties, yeah.
And there's a tab that says circulation. And you can click on that and it'll tell you all the new books. You can search for any book you want, and it'll tell you if we have that book anywhere in the library system and what formats we have it in, because you can check out audiobooks online and ebooks online. We also, of course, have books on CD in the library, and if we don't have it, you can get it from any library in the Coastline Library System for free. They just deliver it, you order it, we order it for you, or you order it and then deliver it. But feel free to just go on and look at the web page. It's a work in progress. Yes.
Thank you.
So it looks like we have a huge staff. We're all very part-time.
I'm Linda. I do the cataloging and I do the interlibrary loans. So if a book is not in a Coastline library, I can put a request in and see where it is anywhere in the United States. And we might be able to get it for you. The cataloging is you go online and if it's in Koha, it's real easy to pull up the record and you add your record to it. If it's not in Koha, then you start searching all over, see if you can find a record. And then if you don't find a record, you write it yourself. So you have to figure out who the publisher is, when it was published, bit about the book, you know, all those descriptions in there. And then you decide whether it's fiction or nonfiction. And then you get it either a number or you use the last title. And that's the cataloging is. Or somebody else and they do the spine label with the information on it so that you can find it.
Ginny?
This time of year, we always do blind date with a book. And what we do is we choose a few books that we know are good books from all different genres. And we wrap them up and they get a card that gives you the rules. And once you've read the book, you fill out a little form like this and then you get to put a ticket in for a line for dinner for two at Lakeside Lodge. And it's been successful. Yeah, so you guys can. Plus, once you check out a book, you get a little. It's a lot of fun.
Our children's library.
That's a fun job. So recently I had to go in and have eye surgery. So the book that I chose to read to the children is a book without words. The children were able to tell me the story of Aesop's fable, The Lion and the Mouse. And they loved it that they could tell me the story.
after the story was complete, we always have homework. And usually some kind of real simple math or pre-reading. I do have several children that have grown past the younger age and they are actually reading and will read to the children. But we want to or not. Our clientele are developmental from 2 years old up through. And the younger ones have a real hard time with R's and L's, so I'm Miss Toot. And we get to make our own goodies. And when it's story time is over and it's time to have a snack, I always say, snack time, what does that mean? Go wash your hands. And so they all run to wash their hands. Then I give each of them something like a tortilla. And matewa. They spread the matewa on the tortilla and wrap it around a banana. And that is banana sushi. They know the dangerous knife, and Sky and Emma get to touch the dangerous knife. We had 10 children this past Monday. Ordinarily it's Tuesday, but because of my eyes, I had to change the date. We had Emma and Amelia, sisters. Emma and Amelia have taught everyone to hug a lot. We have Lil and Carter, who were the shyest kids you've ever met in your life. But with all those hugs, they just fit right in. We have Ellie, who comes with her sister Sky, and they are delightful because Ellie's tiny, 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 and extremely huggable. And then we have Soso, who is not 2 yet, and Max and his sister Ava, who can vocalize louder than anyone in this room. And this is our tway, and it's full of food. So we, all of us are retired with the exception of one. We are independently wealthy. That's why we enjoy every February time every Tuesday. You will love those little kids that live in
Debbie?
I'm Debbie. I've been with the library about 7 years. The library also does faxing, and we take them or we can send them. We also, the need donate snack packs for people that are hungry. And something really special about this library, we have a lot of elderly that live alone in this area, and they have no family around. And I'm finding we are their support. They come in, whether it's just to chat, we help them get their new phones activated. We make doctor's appointments for them. We are, they said that we are their favorite. And we also have disabled that come in, and we do everything we can to provide these services. And the nice thing is it's free. And I'm finding we're friends with all these people in this area. And I think it's so special that we're able to do that.
It's great.
Well, I'm Greg Stangy, and I work 1 or 2 days a week usually in there. And I work up front at the front desk, doing circulation. I'm also in charge of redoing last year all the MSDSs, getting them all set up in there. And we can now have an AED set up, and it's in the back part of the library, back where there's a little kind of a kitchen area. So I'm all back there. We've all been trained in it by the fire department. Most of the people, I think all of us back, have had the CPR training. I don't know if we're up to date. We've been trying to get set up so we're back up to date. We've all gone through it. So in case anything happens. We also have NarcoPack. in case anything goes on wrong in there, which around this area, sometimes that's definitely a problem. And, so we try and take care of the safety. Much as we can. Thank you.
June. June covers, I wrote mine down because I tend to go and so you can take a short story and make it very, so keep me on track. So I'm just gonna read it as I wrote it down today. I am the teen librarian there at the library, which is a new program that we started last year. So what we do, the teen program at the Lakeside Library has held 9 cooking and crafting events, 5 homework help sessions, plus 5 special events for the summer reading program since the program began back in February of 2025. During these 19 events, 13 teenagers have attended the programs, with 6 of them attending regularly. We have mainly focused on cooking, and this is what the kids have requested. We've made healthy snacks, budget-friendly casseroles, desserts, fondue, and even sushi. The kids have all learned the importance of sanitation, budget and menu planning, and trying new things like wasabi and bell peppers. For Teens Choice Day, they requested to make homemade mac and cheese or squirt an entire can of whipped cream into their mouth and do an acid hot test. We made mac and cheese. During the year, we also made crafts, planted windowsill herb gardens, and studied 9th grade algebra together during our homework help session. Out of the 6 kids that showed up that day, at least 2 left with a pretty good understanding of algebra basics and all their missing assignments for the whole. Okay. So yeah, that too. We took a small break through the holiday season, but the program will resume tomorrow. Actually, this year, tomorrow, we will be making a few, well, I always got ahead there. This year we'll be making a few more food items as well as learning paper mache, tie-dye, and knotted macrame technique. But tomorrow after school, we'll be making mini heart-shaped pizzas with homemade pizza dough for Valentine's Day. So that's what we do there. I just had a tiny little thing on the side because I was thinking as I was listening to everyone talking, I know, I promise. If I don't, she can hit me over the head up here. But I was just thinking that often I hear people say, who even needs a library anymore? Nobody reads. Okay, well, I beg to differ with you because I work there, and those are usually statements that come from somebody who hasn't stepped in a library in the last 30 years. So we have a door counter at our door. We count between 30 and 80 people every day. So yes, people do read, but they're kind of almost missing the point about a library because we're also about programming in the community. There's a million things that we do. We help bridge the digital divide among this community because there are a lot of people, sometimes we spend half the day helping people navigate Microsoft Office 365 because they're trying to get a resume done or apply for a job online and they don't know how to do that. So our job, so we're talking about all these fun things. We do a lot of cute little things at the library and it's wonderful, but our importance isn't seen sometimes in the books or hope that people read. We do hope you read. Knowledge is how we change the world, but it's about just all of the little things that we can help out in the community that they really don't have another place to go to get those things done. Unless you all hope to open up your homes and say, come use my computer, then they have to come there. So I think so it's important. So if you haven't been to a library, so those of you who think that it's only about books, come to the library, see what it is. I guarantee you it's changed a lot from what you know since your 4th grade field trip.
We have one more employee who could be with us tonight, and she wanted to.
My name is Sherry Wall. And I regret I'm unable to attend tonight. I'd like to take this opportunity to share how much I value working at Lakeside Library. I greatly appreciate my coworkers and the patrons we serve. Over time, many patrons have become like family, and it's rewarding to stay connected and hear about the developments in their lives. In addition to my regular library duties, I'm responsible for tracking volunteer hours, locating missing materials, organizing collections, weeding and removing damaged or low circulation items, and generating reports. One of my favorite tasks is running reports and ensuring that all materials are accurately accounted. And thank you for the opportunity to let me work and serve the patrons of Lakeside. So that's Sherry Wall. She is the Reedsport High School office manager, and she works for us occasionally on Fridays and Saturdays. So As you can see, we're an aged staff. We all have come from careers that the family rewarding, but all of us really love working on Lakeside and love our patrons here. So again, I encourage you to come on in and meet us and see what we have to offer. I also tonight have our library board, and I don't know that you even know we have one, but we do. And if our library board members would come on that are here tonight. On the library. These people are, of course, volunteers, and they help me decide on policies and decisions for the library throughout the year. And I think Rod is going to speak a couple fun things here real quick.
Well, maybe real quick. I'm Rob Schilling. A couple of you know me very well. Probably don't know me at all. I'm a retired firefighter, general contractor. I was past city councilor and past mayor a few years, a decade and a half ago. So at that time, I was the library commissioner, and I don't know if that's still a thing or not. But it could be a thing again, maybe. It's a liaison between your neighbor, the library, and the city. And it would be really nice if maybe we could reinstitute that liaison.
We have one.
I'm a slacker. I'll get better about it.
Well,
Yeah.
Lakeside is really blessed to have a library. When you look around at how many places around Oregon that are a lot bigger than Lakeside are losing their libraries. And most of that is funding issues. Lakeside Library is funded by a tax levy, grants, contributions, kind of like the city is here, a mix of things that come together and enable Cheryl to be able to run a library. And by virtue of that, a lot of that comes from the numbers that the library serves and the ability of the librarian and her staff to do the work that they do. And I won't throw a lot of numbers at you, but 15,000 visits. Last year, make sure that we are able to have the library open enough hours that the residents can take advantage of it. There's a couple of hundred that have done the kids programs. It's really a blessing to have the library these days. And I would just say that the board here, and at 70, I'm one of the young ones on it. Yeah. But they're a very diverse group, and from librarians to government workers, teachers, business owners. And in that, I would like to say that if anybody that's interested and wants to be on the library board, I know you all know that being on the board is a lot of work, but being on a library board is a lot of fun. So, and it's really nice to be able to do that. With the history here of being in the building, in this old school building, it's been really a good relationship between the city and the library. And I would like to maintain that, and I'm saying that I'd like to encourage you guys to use the library and esteem the library when funding is available. Support its infrastructure. Right now, there's some things that are badly needed, and I know anybody that's interested in doing the building maintenance around here knows that this building is old. And so I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, Madam Mayor and councilors, and just know that your library is loved by the community. And if some of the patrons could come in and tell you what Cheryl and her staff cares on a daily basis, it is an ongoing highlight of this town. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Sue? Okay. I've lived here for 19 years. I came from Southern California. I was involved with the library in Southern California, and as soon as we moved up here and I kind of saw what was going on, I got involved with the library. The previous director approached me one day because I was in there all the time, and she said, "Would you be interested in joining the Friends?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she says, "And oh, by the way, we need a president." So I got to be president of the Friends for 12 or 13 years, I think. And then finally I had it. and I convinced a good friend that Kathy there to be president. The board, the library is a key facility in our town. Because as you guys well know, there's an awful lot of people that live here who live under the poverty level. There's a lot of elderly. I'm 80, I just turned 80. So the library is an important resource and we don't use it enough. And we would appreciate any help you guys could be in encouraging people to use the library because it's more than just books, as everyone has said. We have computers, we have people who can help you with your phone, help you with the computer, learn how to do certain things. And it's just vitally important to the community. I tell people that I meet that are new here, I said, we have 3 great things going for us. We have a library, it's fabulous. We have a little market and we have a hardware store. What else do you need? What else do you need? But I have been in your shoes. I was a council member for a short period of time. And so I know kind of what you guys have to do and go through. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate it. You always get a big packet that you have to read and be able to answer and ask intelligent questions. So we appreciate the council, we appreciate this time. And we have board members here, Sarah, who is a former librarian. You want to say something?
Just want to say that I am a librarian retired, and this is one of the best libraries, if not the best library I've ever been in. And from day one, I've been welcome, and Tony and I are in so often, I expect them to give us a room eventually.
They're trying to give her a job.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening.
Pete Giambalvo on board.
Oh, good morning. I'm the vice president. I do some of the construction work such as building the bookshelves and anything that's like
Reinforcing some of the carts.
putting larger casters on. My background is in education. I'm a retired university professor, mechanical engineer. I'm presently with the Lakeside Water Department Board. And of course, with the library board.
And the Friends of
the library. And I believe with the Reedport Police Department.
Busy. I know you're not prepared.
I was not expecting to speak today.
No.
My name is Rondo Roscoe. I've lived in this community for about 12 years. I'm the newbie on the board.
Not to mention the big.
And the big. It's an honor to serve on this. And it's an honor to live in this community. What the people in the library do for the citizens of this town is extraordinary. I don't think we can all tell from the presentation. So we thank you for your time. Please do consider going to the library. Go like.
And you want to hear? Yes, I do. Okay. Then we can sit.
So I would like to introduce Kathy Wilcox. She's the president of our Friends of the Library.
So, Friends of the Library, our mission is to support the library. And usually that means raising funds. So we raise money. They get a grant usually for a computer. We usually buy a second computer to keep up to date. I gotta say, I have computers at home and I come here to use the computers, so they're faster, better, and there's people who will actually help me. And we run the book sale room, back where the food pantry is. And I brought brochures for our next one. The great thing about it, is it's done at the same time as the senior pancake feed. So it's 2 in 1. And I just wrote down our mission statement real quick. So we're volunteers. We probably have 9 active members and other summer people that come and help us. And our mission is to support the needs of the library, focus on the public attention to the library. So we're kind of liaisons too. And we promote educational, charitable, and financial needs of the library. So things like, if the kids all want to go to the lighthouse, who's going to pay for the bus drive? So we can pay for the bus drive. We bought computers. All of them. We keep the computers up to date. We bought some tiling, we bought window chairs, toilets. Yeah, it's really exciting. But toner for the office supplies, things that aren't always included, and extra supplies for the kids if they have art projects. And I really enjoy doing the book sales. We have extra books. We get books donated by the library. We get people who donate to us through the library. We probably raise a couple $1,000s a year, just $1 a book. And it's fun. Plus, with all these volunteers, if you're in there sorting books, they will find you authors, they will find you books to read. There's so many knowledgeable people. Almost everybody has, like I said, a wide variety of backgrounds. I was forensic science, and I come from a group of people. My gosh. And a lot of the people, the thing is Jane's our secretary, Pete's our vice president, Sue's our past president and writes grants for us. So we get money from like the Ford Foundation. It's and it's not just selling books, it's the whole community outreach. Thank you very much for your time. I'm happy to be here.
So in closing, I don't know if anybody has any questions for us. We'd be happy to try and answer them. Sue wanted me to mention that the Friends of the Library have written grants and brought in $45,000 over the last few years. So we really do rely on them. And, our library, I don't know if you know how special it really is. It is a group of people that don't need to really work. And we do it because we love this community and we love sharing some of our knowledge with others and helping. That's what we're all about. And we are really lucky. I have colleagues all over the place that are losing libraries. They're going out of business, but right around the country. So anyway, your support is really appreciated. We love what we do. And as you can see, I might be the director, but this library is run by all of these folks. They all take part in everything. And I am a lucky person. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all speaking. I know I'm guilty of not getting my kids down there enough. So yeah, we'll be visiting soon. But I know Nikki takes her daughter down there. So it is a special place. And I appreciate all you guys do.
And I told them they can leave after. That okay?
Oh, yeah. Sit more and stuff.
There is cake.
You want some cake?
We're having cake. It's Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, we'll move into the fun stuff now. We got item 6, the consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
I'll let you break. Right now.
Motion's been made by Counselor Armstrong and seconded by Counselor Moore to accept the consent calendar with item G. Any further discussion? Seeing as there is none, we'll move into a vote. Counselor Miller?
Counselor Miller, aye.
Counselor Morgan, aye.
Carrie Knockout, bye.
Nikki Wood, aye. Counselor Armstrong, aye.
Where's your mind?
Motion carries, consent calendar is approved. Move on to item number 7, citizen comments. We have D. Drummond.
Yeah, hard not to follow. It's wonderful that we have enthusiasm so well. I was actually here though on, not a happy note, and I'm not quite sure where it falls into the agenda tonight, or there would be something around the emergency declaration of code enforcement, but this week over the holiday weekend, we had a transient RV create property damage to our resort. So I am here to encourage and ask for continued support on how we work to not have these transient RVs. This is not in our plan. This is on North Lake Road where it had been parked for about 2 to 3 days. At the entrance to the library. And other vehicles came to see them or whatever was going on, or we don't know, and backed into our fence. Our fence is now not, we've got repairs that we would be doing. It's not catastrophic by any means, but this isn't the only situation that we have had with this. Most of the time they're up on the bridge, and this is not what we're listed. And we go up there and clean up, and some of it's raw sewage and some of it's litter and what have you. So I would just like to encourage those, and I know you all have very full plates right now and all the good things that are being done, but to try and put forth an initiative to make these RVs not be able to be here, however that's possible. Yes, we had the sheriff report done with it as well. And I call frequently on, bridge situation. And just to encourage that, if we could please try and eliminate this, because it's also a safety concern. Not all of them are, horrible people by any means. And this particular one didn't seem to be that way as far as agitated and that type of thing. And I didn't feel like that was safety was at risk. But I'm here just to ask that we continue to consider. That's all.
Thank you. Now, we're talking about the camp ordinance, and hopefully that'll help us be able to move those people along a little bit quicker as well. So thank you for letting us know. Shirley is on Zoom.
Yep. Oh, she's on there. She should be ready.
Very slow. Yeah, okay.
Can you hear us, Shirley?
Shirley, can you hear us? If you give her a minute and then if he's not available.
There's.
Can you hear us, Shirley?
I just wanted to read a statement from the LVO members and give everyone kind of an update on exciting news that they have. And they wanted to let everyone know that they're excited to announce that they'll be meeting on the third Wednesday of every month at the Lakeshore Lodge Meeting Room at 5:30 p.m. Their regular meetings have resumed. Their mission is to strengthen the business community by providing support through networking opportunities, not just with the business owners, but with all of the other nonprofits in Lakeside. And they're working on a community event calendar that will list all of the meetings for everyone and the goings on at the senior center and the library. So that's going to be a great collaboration and tool for us all. And they're going to try and improve and work on communication with the city and the public, expand and build stronger local business base, and partner with the city to assist with community events such as the 4th of July and the drag boat races. And that's also going to be some super exciting things coming up. They're gathering suggestions on how to move forward with the Experience Lakeside and planning this year's Christmas event. And ideas and involvement are welcome and encouraged. The public is invited to the regular meetings on those third Wednesdays. And they're also pleased to announce that their IRS determination letter has officially been received, and that makes a real important milestone for the organization. And they're excited about the next chapter and look forward to seeing anyone at their regular meetings. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Shirley. All right, we will move into our action items. Oh, yeah,
May I make public comment? I didn't get time to sign them.
yeah, no problem. Please come up.
Good evening, Mayor Wood, city councilors. I really just wanted to come up and introduce myself. My name is Troy Cribbins, and I am currently the Republican candidate for House District 9 to replace Boomer Wright, who's not going to run. I haven't had a chance to meet all of you. I know a couple of you. And so I wanted to introduce myself and say hi. I have enjoyed this council meeting. So currently, I'm also a city councilor for Coos Bay. Was originally appointed and ran for re-election. Won that seat, and I want to assure you, we have technology issues as well at the meeting. And our library is exciting, not as exciting as I don't know what you guys have in your water, but I want some of it.
Lots of passion.
Lots of passion. But our library struggles too. We're struggling with a collapsing structure. So we don't have the resources for it, and our community is struggling with the financial issues. They don't have the resources to support a bond. So it was really nice to see that you guys have such a wonderful facility that's being accessed and taken care of. For background, my history is in healthcare. I'm a former board chair of the Bay Area Hospital, and I run a home health and hospice agency. My education is I have a doctorate in physical therapy, and I ran my own staffing company for 10 years before I decided to shift a little bit and get into more hospice and home health care. I was active on the Boys and Girls Club, served on that board as vice chair. And my purpose for running is I'm in the homes of our community every day, and I see the struggle they have in accessing healthcare, economic downturn. I mean, you guys indicated it earlier, our community is poor, and I think a lot of that is related to Salem inhibiting our ability to take care of ourselves. I'm running to help economic development, and in that, for me, that's the basis. If we improve our economic status, that in turn helps us improve our hospital, our healthcare, because we have more business, we have more commercial insurance payers, help support the hospitals and clinics. It should help with our education, because we have more people here, help the structures of the schools, we provide more teachers to help educate our kids, and to give our children. I heard somebody say the other day, our largest export now is our kids. And we need to change that. We need to at least give them the option of something. It's so exciting to see people. You guys have a really diverse council. Nice. And with increased economic development, that helps our small municipalities fund their general fund so we can pay for roads, sidewalks, all those things that our citizens come in and say, how come you're not fixing this? So that's my spiel. I'm going to stay because you guys have a interesting council. I'd like to see if it continues on the same sort of similarities. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'll be here if anybody wants to ask me a question. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Jeff. Sorry I didn't catch you on your list early.
I didn't get here in time to.
You're okay. No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on. Yeah.
Do you mind if I speak for a second? I guess first I should ask where we're signing up at.
There was a list at the beginning of the meeting. It's usually over there on that little table.
But I got here like 15 minutes early and I didn't see it and stuff. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're fine.
So my name's Jeff Johnson and I live at 5 Creek Lane in the village. And so I appreciate you guys talking about that during your council workshop a couple weeks ago. But since then, I don't know if everybody's aware, we've had a pretty big sewer leak over there. So we were notified on the 25th that they had shut it down. So we couldn't use the bathroom, we couldn't do anything. On the 16th, we were outside our house in the evening and we could smell it. So it had potentially been leaking into our waterway for like 9 days before anybody was aware of it. So I guess I'm just here asking you guys to keep pushing forward and try to find a solution. It's not being maintained the way it should be, you know, and it's impacting me, my neighbors, you know, everybody. So, I mean, sewer spraying in our water system for 9 days, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's right behind my house. I mean, it did not smell good. You know, so anyway, yeah, if we could work towards a solution, that would be great. And I'm here to help any way I can. My wife is too. So, all right, thank you.
I appreciate it. All right. We'll move into item 8, our action items, starting with item A, ordinance 2026-315, amending chapter 33 of the Lakeside Municipal Code. We have our little staff report here. This is just to follow up on what we've been talking about, changing the transient lodging tax to be collected by the Department of Revenue. I like that you have a number in here for us, the 66,000.
Would you like me to read it for the audience? Yeah, that's what I've been doing, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I just, the time and.
I know. Good evening. The City Council has discussed updating the Lakeside Municipal Code to allow the Oregon Department of Revenue to act as the city's tax administrator for collection of the transient lodging tax. The proposed ordinance would amend Chapter 33 of the Lakeside Municipal Code to authorize the Oregon Department of Revenue to administer and collect the city's transient lodging tax. Many Oregon cities have adopted this approach, and it is widely regarded as the most efficient and reliable method for administering local lodging taxes. Currently, Lakeside has approximately 20 active vacation rentals or short-term rentals listed on Airbnb, operating within city limits. Staff estimate that less than half of those are registered and actively reporting their TLT revenue to the city. This represents a large segment of the city's revenue and shows an increased need for consistent reporting and tax compliance. The Department of Revenue has the systems, staff, and statewide experience to manage lodging tax collection, including tracking, enforcement, reporting, and auditing. Moving collections to the Department of Revenue reduces the city's need to manage these functions internally and supports more consistent reporting across all lodging providers and booking platforms. The attached ordinance has been reviewed and approved by the Department of Revenue staff. And I would actually like to say that it says in here that we estimate less than half. I think we have maybe 2. So it's not even half that report their TLT taxes to us. The financial impact, the city's current TLT revenue is approximately $155,700 annually. Based on current lodging activities, staff expect that transitioning administration to the Department of Revenue will increase annual revenue by approximately $66,000. The alternatives are to adopt ordinance 26-315, amending chapter 33 of the Lakeside Municipal Code and repealing portions of ordinance 155A. 2, decline to adopt ordinance 26-315, or 3, table the issue and provide staff with further instructions. Staff is recommending alternative number 1.
All right, with that being said, does anybody have any changes they would like to make to the ordinance? And that they see any major errors? Yeah, Councilor Ward.
Colleagues, on page 59, section 33.7.
I'm sorry, but you're gonna, my page is spelled with numbers.
It's page 4 of the ordinance.
Okay.
Let's see. Exemption C currently reads a dwelling unit that is used by members of the public for temporary human occupancy for fewer than 30 days per year. So it's not an exemption for a tenant that's only in occupancy for less than 30 days. It's an exemption for the lodging operator for a unit that isn't occupied for more than 30 days within a year. So as an example, say someone's operating a house as a vacation rental, and for whatever reason, they only book it out for 3 one-week rentals during the entire summer season, and that's it for them for the year. That lodging would be exempt under this language. I don't know if that would be intentional or not, but it's kind of weird.
Illegal.
Yeah, so this is required language from the Department of Revenue. If it's not included, they will not do this.
It's all.
Yeah.
Because the operator isn't gonna know their unit's exempt until well into the year. And then presumably they collected tax from those people, and then they have to apply that to be funded. Okay. It's a requirement. All right.
Yeah.
And then, the exemption F was kind of interesting. And it currently reads that the exemption is for a dwelling unit that is leased or otherwise occupied by the same person for a consecutive period of 30 days or more during the year. And the during the year is kind of interesting. Suppose you have someone who rents out a dwelling for 45 consecutive days. The 22 of those days are in December and 23 are in January. Right, so they should be exempt because they've been in occupancy for more than 30 days, but suddenly they're not because it spans 2 calendar years.
Yeah. Again, this is a requirement of the Department of Revenue, but I can reach out to our contact and see if he can provide like some examples of what those are, just to clarify, you know, when that kicks in and how often that becomes an issue.
And it wasn't clear whether it was calendar
During the year,
years.
so I would assume the calendar
I
year.
kind of assumed it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so too, because that's how people pay their taxes.
Normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking the example of that 45 days span
Mhm.
Yeah.
change over that should be.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, on page 1, there's 2 things there. So were there any changes because we have already repealed 00231? Were you removing that one? 231, hopefully repealed already.
Potentially. I don't think there's any harm in repealing it again, because it's not listed as repealed on our spreadsheet. And so short of going back and finding the minutes where it does look repealed, I don't think there's any harm in repealing it again.
Yeah, it does, 241 repeal 231, but that's okay. But then on definitions, you have 3301. Should that be 3302 because 331 is title?
Oh, yes. Were all of the chapters screwed up? Nope. Just that one.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
You find out the percentage of the TLT situation about, because there was that discrepancy you said we were going to have to worry about.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten into it.
Okay.
I just changed the language in this, so it's basic. We're gonna follow the ORS, whatever that tells us to do.
Yeah.
Because when you look up the ORS right now, it still says the 70-30 split, but then I did find the letter from Gary that says we can do 86-14.
So we don't need to put that in here,
No.
so there's no point in setting it in stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say I have a signed copy of the ordinance repealing.
Oh, okay.
But you don't think it's an issue to repeal it, yeah.
No, I mean, unless council cares, then we can certainly remove it before adopting this ordinance.
I'm fine with putting language in. What does the rest of the council think? If there's no other comments on that joint motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance number 26-315. An ordinance of the city of Lakeside, in chapter 33 of the Lakeside Municipal Code, and repealing portions of ordinance number 155.
Second.
Motion's been made by Counselor Ward and seconded by Counselor Pointer. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing as there's none, we'll move into a vote.
Counselor Miller, aye.
Counselor Harden, aye.
Mary McDevitt, aye.
Nikki Wood, aye.
Counselor Armstrong, aye.
Counselor Ward, aye. Counselor Pointer, aye.
All right, motion carries. Ordinance number 226-315 is passed. All right, we will move into item C, ordinance 2026-317, amending chapter 11 of the Lakeside Municipal Code. Would you like to read the staff report about this one?
Sure. Okay. The city of Lakeside originally adopted ordinance number 77 on August 20th, 1981, establishing regulations governing peddlers operating within the city. Ordinance number 77 was later codified as chapter 111 of the Lakeside Municipal Code. Portions of chapter 111 are incomplete and contain placeholder language, quote, brackets, missing text, ... brackets, which creates ambiguity and impairs the city's ability to clearly administer or enforce the code. The proposed ordinance amends chapter 111 of the Lakeside Municipal Code by repealing and replacing sections 111.04 through section 111.12 in their entirety. The purpose of this update is to restore the intended provisions of ordinance number 77 in a clear and enforceable form. The updated sections include standards for investigation and issuance of permits, administrative fees, license identification, restrictions on noise and obstruction of public right-of-ways, license revocation procedures, and appeal rights. There is no fiscal impact. Alternatives are to adopt ordinance 26-317, amending chapter 11 of the municipal code, to amend and then adopt ordinance 26-317, decline to adopt the ordinance, and then or table the issue and provide staff with further instruction. Staff does recommend alternative number 1, but just to add to this is something I came across when I was looking in the code book on something else, and it's been like that since, well, 1980. So it was a little concerning. I did spend some time trying to put together what the intended purpose was, but I did end up consulting with artificial intelligence to help me fill in the gaps of what was intended to be said. And so this is the result of that.
My only concern with this, it goes back to the HB 3115. And here we need to provide somewhere objectively reasonable for them to sleep. And I don't see it.
You're on the wrong ordinance, Nikki. Yeah, we're talking about peddlers. We removed 8B from the agenda. I mean, I hope peddlers aren't sleeping on the sidewalks, but, you know.
All right. Never mind.
We'll talk about that in work session again.
All right. Does anybody have anything to say about the correct ordinance?
On the appeal process.
Yeah.
Was looking that was 14 before, and you did change it to 15 with the standards.
That's correct. I did make that one small update. All of our other appeals processes regarding planning and towing of vehicles and whatnot are as standard as 15 days. So this just makes it consistent so that we don't have one, little section of our code that's suddenly 14 days.
Is there any other modifications anyone has? All right, do I have a motion?
I move we adopt ordinance 26-317, then chapter 11.
Second.
Motion's been made by Counselor Pointer to accept ordinance number 26-317 and ordinance amending chapter 111 of the Lakeside Municipal Code. Seconded by Counselor Miller. Any discussion? All right, seeing as there's none, we'll move into a vote.
Counselor Miller, aye.
Counselor Harden, aye.
Very nice. Yeah, aye.
Nikki Wood, aye.
Counselor Armstrong,
Council Ward, aye.
Councilor Wonder, aye.
All those in favor, motion carries. All right. Move on to item D, resolution 2026-03, authorizing a loan from the Oregon Infrastructure Finance Authority Water Fund and the execution of a financing contract.
Yes, good evening. The city has been actively pursuing multiple funding sources for the wastewater treatment plant improvements, including ARPA funding and state financing opportunities through Business Oregon and the Oregon Infrastructure Finance Authority. Resolution number 26-03 authorizes the city to enter a financing contract with the Oregon Infrastructure Finance Authority, a division of the Oregon Business Development Department, for financial assistance from the IFA Water Fund for a qualified water project. IFA has approved the city's application for funding contingent upon execution of a financing contract number Y26004 attached as Exhibit A. The resolution authorizes the mayor to execute the financing contract and related documents to obtain funding in an amount not to exceed $700,000 in grant funding and $1.8 million in loan funding at an interest rate not to exceed 1.28% per annum. There is currently no financial impact, I think would have been the correct words to use. Alternatives are to adopt the resolution and authorize the mayor to sign, decline to adopt the resolution, and then table the issue and provide staff with further instruction. Staff is recommending alternative number 1.
All right. We've been looking over this contract for quite a while now, so hopefully we can move forward with it. Does anyone have anything to say?
I just want to make sure that the loan, we don't start making payments for 2 years. Once the project is completed, or is it when we take our first?
Is it the first draw? Okay, yeah, I know that estimated repayment isn't until 2027. And in the meeting with our engineer today, they're currently estimating $250,000 or less is what's going to be needed from this right now to complete the project. So, yeah.
That's great. A total of 250,000, so after that would be the grant.
Yeah, so hopefully we can stick with that. So I've told Buddy no granite countertops and no stone flooring. So
yeah. Well, that being said, is our motion.
I move to adopt resolution 26-03 and authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the city.
Motion's been made by Councilor Pointer to accept resolution 2026-03 authorizing loan from the Oregon Infrastructure Finance Authority and authorizing the mayor to sign on behalf of the city. Seconded by Councilor Harden. Any further discussion? All right, we shall move into a vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
Councilor Magda.
Wood, aye.
Councilor Armstrong, aye.
Councilor Ward, aye.
Councilor Pointer, aye.
Right. Everyone's in favor, motion carries. Resolution is accepted. We will move on to item number E, resolution 2026-04, amending the 2025-2026 City of Lakeside fee schedule.
The city has pursued state funding and financing opportunities to support the wastewater treatment plant project. As part of the city's financing process, the state requires the city to demonstrate a minimum revenue margin of 1.2 to accept and maintain eligibility for loan funding. Because wastewater utility revenue represents a substantial portion of the city's overall revenue and repayment capacity, it is necessary for the city to ensure rates remain sufficient to meet state requirements and support the long-term financial stability of the utility account. Resolution number 26-04 adopts an updated fiscal year 2025-2026 fee schedule, including adjustments to wastewater-related fees and rates. The city has opted to implement wastewater rate adjustments on an annual basis. This approach allows the city council to review revenue, operating costs, and repayment requirements each year and adjust rates only as appropriate should revenue and expenses change. placing the least possible burden on citizens. Staff are requesting to delay the increase by 2 months to allow for public notification over 2 billing cycles in advance of the expected increase. Financial impact. Adoption of Resolution 26-04 will increase wastewater revenue approximately $136,950 per fiscal year, with a $22,825 increase in the current fiscal year. So just to clarify, the $22,000 figure is with the 2-month delay.
From April to June.
Correct. Yeah. And this will allow us 2 full billing cycles to do some public outreach and notify citizens that the increase is coming.
Great. Does anybody have anything to add to it? Mr. Ward?
First is, so at the state, which is based on the fees set out there, understanding that take the wastewater collection and treatment charge, add to it appropriate or applicable state or step fee, and then add to that the rate differential. You should get a figure that's exactly the same as what's listed under total monthly wastewater fee.
Correct.
And they don't.
Wonderful.
So for example,
Oh, yeah, I can see it. Okay.
if I add together a residential step system plus the base collection charge plus the step residential rate differential, gives me a total of $101.29. Then it's listed under total as $99.29. The other math thing was more conceptual. It's my understanding we were going to 10% across the increase. And so when you look at the step fees that are here, depending on how you calculate it, so there's 2 different figures here. It's either a 37% increase or a 22% increase in the step. 10%.
Oh, because I did 10% on each one.
I don't know how you got it.
Well, that's. Yeah, so I added.
Differential between basic residential and residential with step is currently $12.07, and then this proposal it goes up to either $17.69 or $15.69, depending on which rate on this table you're using. Neither one of those is a 10%. Still on board with the idea of it.
Well, I'm unsure if we can pass a fee schedule without correct figures.
Yes, that would be ideal, but yes.
Yeah, we'll table it and fix it.
But I just want.
It's okay.
I just want to make sure though that we had talked about, and I know that we had talked about how when we have our base and then this extra fee, that is, I would like to see us split it out on the bill so that once we decide where we're at, and if we need the money or we don't, or it's paid off, it goes away. It's not like automatically keep staying there.
What do you mean on the bill?
Well, like the water district used to have the flat rate, which would be 76, mine 76. But then increase, they're separate, increase separate, because we have continued for 5 years adding the 10%, and we even did it a little more one time. So then that money was supposed to be put aside. And you're working very hard to catch us up on the monies that was never put up. But if we raise it, then it's there forever. And it's meant for the sewer
construction, repayment of the loan.
I see where you're going with that. I would have to say, I mean, even if it's all one number on the bill, it doesn't mean that we can't keep that the number back down eventually if we wanted to.
You can still go back historically and say,
Right.
here, where you did this.
But we
It's
can't,
worthwhile to reverse it if that ever comes up.
I know, but we have, Andrew promised the people that the bill would raise. And James, the news mayor, said that if they did need it or use it, it would be reduced. And the bill went from 45 to 76 now. And I don't think it would ever happen because the money is just absorbed. So I think we should separate it out in good faith to tell the people that if we don't, we only, this amount we're raising it is based upon the $1.8 million loan we're going to get. If we're only going to move 250,000, 125,000, then people can see. I think we just need to be more transparent.
I mean, there's no guarantee that we're not gonna need the money, so to put that as a separate figure and then say that we're gonna take it away one day, I feel like would be a false promise and might mislead people. And adding the extra fee in the bill might confuse people, personally, that's my thought. But I mean, it still needs to go on a separate fund, and it's going in a separate fund.
I mean, we could clarify on the note in the bill that the extra 10% will be, segmented separately, but to be honest, as cumbersome as our billing software is, I don't even know if it's possible to put a second line item on it.
I just think it's important because I know there are citizens who believe we have lied to. When you look at where is the money, it was just absorbed, and at the end of the budget year, they were supposed to transfer monies over, and we never have enough left over to transfer. So if nothing else, I think we need to make sure that people know we are doing it monthly. I think quarterly is not feasible because it's a huge amount. And people think we have all this money in Fund 7 and we don't. If we put it like we should be in Fund 10.
I mean, I can ask Michelle and find out if it's even possible and fix my numbers.
Even possible, splitting the.
Yeah, to do like 2 line items on our bill.
Well, before one person makes that decision on the council, we should all talk about it. And I don't.
Right, but just to find out if it's even possible.
Yeah.
Because I mean, our billing software is cumbersome enough that, I mean, I know we can't. The collections revenue and whatnot, like there's not a single report that we can print that tells us, like we have to catch it at the time of payment. So it's a really outdated system, even though it's modern, that, I don't want to say that it may not even be possible. So I don't know that it's something council needs to spend time discussing right now until I have an answer.
Well, and if you, like I said, if you can see, we can put the wording on this extra 10%. I mean, that would be helpful.
I know we can add notes to it, but.
When you're noticing that there's going to be a rate increase.
Yeah.
I just believe it.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just think it's imperative that we don't find that somebody else doesn't find themselves in a position where they have to raise rates because the money that was supposed to have been set aside was absorbed and not set aside. If the money had been set aside as it was billed to have been set aside, then we wouldn't be finding ourselves in a situation where we have to raise the rates.
We're setting it aside. Every quarter.
We're going to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
Is it quarter or monthly we're doing? Setting it aside.
I mean, I guess that's a question. I know it didn't happen until December. So that is a question for council. Do you want that money transferred on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis? Monthly, okay.
I was gonna say as an option to another line on the billing, possibly just track that monthly And reported at each council meeting. What was transferred to
Right.
the account would be an option.
But we did transparency. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, with that being said,
We need a motion to table.
oh, yeah. Do I have a? Hazel?
I'll make a motion to table resolution 2026-04.
All right, motion's been made to table resolution 2026-04, amending the 2025-2026 City of Lakeside fee schedule. Fee schedule. Yeah, okay, sorry. Is there any further discussion? All right. Seeing as there's none, moving to a vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
Councilor Magda, aye.
Thank you, Wood, aye.
Councilor Armstrong,
Councilor Ward. Councilor Pointer, aye.
Got thrown off because we were talking about the sewer. Okay. Item F, resolution 2026-05, authorizing the cancellation of city credit cards.
Resolution number 26-05 authorizes the cancellation of city-issued credit cards assigned to former users who are no longer employed by the city and authorizes the current city recorder to execute all documents required by Columbia Bank to implement this change. There is no financial impact. Staff is recommending alternative number 1. So in producing the paperwork to which the credit card is my name, the bank informed me that there are 2 former employees, one of which I don't even know how long has been gone, that still have active credit cards. Yes.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Love that one. All right, do you have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 26-05, resolution authorizing the cancellation of city credit.
Motion's been made by Councilor Ward to accept resolution 2026-05, authorizing the cancellation of city credit cards. It's seconded by Councilor Pointer. Saying, is there any further discussion? All right, moving to a vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
Councilor Magda, aye.
Nikki Wood, aye. Councilor Armstrong,
Councilor Ward, aye. Councilor Pointer, aye.
aye. All right, motion passes. Resolution's accepted. All right, we'll move on to item G, resolution 2026-06, updating authorized signers on city bank accounts.
Resolution number 26-06 updates the authorized signers on all city bank accounts held at Columbia Bank to reflect current officials responsible for managing city funds. There is no financial impact, and staff is recommending alternative number 1 to adopt the resolution.
All right, another pretty straightforward one. Is there any discussion on that? Any motion? Yeah, yeah.
I move we adopt resolution 2606, getting authorized signers in all city bank accounts.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilor Pointer to accept resolution 2026-06, updating authorized signers on city bank accounts. That has been seconded by Councilor Miller. All right, moving to a vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
Councilor Magda, aye.
Thank you, Wood, aye.
Councilor Armstrong, aye.
Councilor Ward, aye.
Councilor Pointer, aye.
All right, all those in favor, motion carries. Perfect. Move on to item H. Appoint new planning commissioners. We have you want to read your staff report? Okay.
2 planning commission positions expired on December 31st, 2025. Staff advertised the vacancies for a 2-week period and received no additional applications. Both incumbents Carl Granzow and Randy Thomas have expressed interest in and willingness to continue serving on the planning commission for an additional 4-year term. Reappointing the current members will ensure the planning commission remains fully seated. There is no financial impact. Staff is recommending alternative number 1, which would appoint Carl Granzow to position number 1 for a 4-year term expiring on December 31st, 2029, and appoint Randy Thomas to position number 2 for a 4-year term expiring December 31st, 2029.
Make these motions separately for each person.
No, you can do it as one. And if you're making the same motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Carl Granzow and Randy Thomas to the planning commission. Vacant planning commission seat.
I'll second. A motion's been made by Counselor Miller to appoint Carl Granzow and Randy Thomas to vacant planning commission seats. It's been seconded by Counselor Hardin. Any further discussion? Great. Move the vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Counselor Hardin, aye. Mayor Wood, aye. Counselor Armstrong, aye.
Councilor Ward, aye. Councilor Pointer, aye.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations, existing planning commission members who are not here. Okay. Item I, approve a contract for services with Expert Towing and Auto Sales.
Good evening. To efficiently enforce parking and nuisance violation, current administration would like to contract with a dedicated towing company for abandoned vehicles and other vehicles in violation of city code. Expert Towing and Auto Sales has provided a contracted rate sheet for towing services within the city limits. The sheet includes below standard rates for abandoned vehicle towing, hazard towing, and after hours hazard towing, along with towing rates for utility and travel trailers. Staff contacted two other local towing companies, one of whom declined to provide a quote, and the second company's rates are 342% higher than Expert Towing. This contract will not only provide the city with consistent service and predictable towing rates when vehicle removal is necessary, Expert Towing will also provide 4 no parking / tow signs free of charge and any additional signs at cost of $8 each. The current fiscal year budget has $5,000 allocated for code enforcement with 100% of the funding available. Alternatives are to approve a contract and authorize the city recorder to sign, decline to approve the contract, or table the item and provide staff with further instructions.
I have one question on the contract. When it says the RV and the travel trailer, it says disposal costs or asbestos costs will be passed on. Is that to us or to the owner?
It should be to the owner.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the big distinctions between Expert Towing and the other one I referenced, whose name I did not put in there. So Expert Towing is just asking us to pay for the tow. And then after that, they take care of everything. The other one was asking us to pay for the tow, to pay for the storage, to pay for the administrative fee, and everything else. So the 342% figure isn't like exaggerated. That's how different the two were. So I know in RV, with the other competitor was, I think, around $1,500 when you put it all together.
Well, that sounds good to me.
And that's a year ago, they would have been free, but because of staffing, they now charge $130.
Which is $15 less than their standard, but
A year ago, we don't want to work with Lakeside, so it's good that someone got in touch with them. All right. We accept this.
I move we approve a contract with Expert Towing and authorize the city recorder to sign.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Counselor McDuff to accept the Expert Towing contract and seconded by Counselor Martin. Any further discussion? All right, move the vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Counselor Hardin, aye.
Counselor McDuff, aye.
Mayor Wood, aye.
Counselor Armstrong, aye.
Councilor Ward, aye.
Councilor Pointer, aye.
Great, motion carries. Contract is accepted. All right, we'll move on to item J, approve an updated job description for city clerk.
the city clerk position has historically served as a support role for administration, public records, planning commission coordination, utility billing, and general office operations. The current city clerk job description on file is identical to the current job description for the city recorder, specifically in the areas of city council, city elections, and other duties generally designated to one position. This has created confusion regarding job duties, accountability, and operational expectations. In order to clearly separate the responsibilities of the city clerk position from the city recorder role, staff has prepared an updated city clerk job description that reflects the actual duties currently assigned to and expected of that position. in financial impact. Next month, a resolution will be brought before the council to amend the budget as this position was not actually funded. So this is currently Amanda's role, which even though it was known at the time of budget adoption last year was not included in the budget. And with Sharon's departure from the city, we will need to amend the budget after doing some math if the position is approved.
Okay. Does anybody have any issues with the job description?
Just, I think, under benefits, to put pay versus currently, or currently contribution is 29.02, because we don't know what the future has in the next budget.
Correct. We could either make that edit or just update the job description as necessary.
So let's just put it in currently.
Okay.
Currently we pay 29.02%.
Okay. Is there any other changes? All right, if there's none, then I have a motion.
I move that we approve the city clerk job description.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilor Harden to approve the job description, the city clerk's job description, and seconded by Councilor Miller. For any further discussion?
The most one, please, cleaning, because that's what we should.
That is, yeah, it is the current range.
But we're approving the job description with the new position.
No, because it's not a new position. So there's, I guess, so this is an item that technically wouldn't have to come before the city council because it's a change of job description, but for transparency, and because I've only been here 90 days, I brought it to the council to approve for transparency.
So her current job description that we're amending has the pay range at $19 to $24, right?
I believe so. I don't even know that it actually has a pay range, but it's historically, the city council has already approved the job description and the pay rate, and this does not exceed that.
All right. Move into a vote.
Councilor Miller, aye.
Councilor Harden, aye.
Councilor Magdab, aye.
Mayor Wood, aye.
Councilor Armstrong, aye. Councilor Wood, aye. What is
Right, carries. All right. Now moving to the board and committee reports. Code Enforcement Committee, there's a, I read your update. There's no committee actively going on, but our city recorder provided a really awesome code enforcement update for us. Number 1, issued voluntary letter of nuisance compliance to a property on North Lake and a property on North 8. 2, issued informational notice to not to park, store vehicles and items in ROW.
Right of way
To 2 adjacent properties on South 12. 1 property complied, 1 did not. See number 6. I'll just follow up with number 6. The city clerk contacted 3 local towing companies to discuss a contract for nuisance and code violations. We did learn that Mass Brothers is the only area towing company able to tow motorhomes.
So that might be wrong. Maybe see item number 7.
Tagged a trailer, boat and travel trailer
Yeah,
parked
that
right
one.
of way onto 12th Street after a letter and verbal conversation with the owner resulted in non-compliance. Boat and utility trailer removed. A tow was requested to 1226. Tagged an RV on the corner of North 8th and Bonneville. Vehicle did relocate. Tagged a utility trailer on Bonneville. Vehicle was relocated. Tagged a GMC SUV on Railroad that rendered complaints from neighbors as it was partially blocking the lane with no license plates. Owner did come into City Hall and has since moved the vehicle. Tagged a Ford F-150 on 6th attached to a sailboat that was parked in the right of way, partially blocking the road. Vehicle has been relocated. Supply the property manager of Lakeside Towing with registered owners for 10 vehicles currently in the lot so he can make contact for removal. Tag white van parked adjacent to the Presbyterian Church. After speaking with the owner and no compliance, vehicle was relocated. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, so thankfully we have a lot of voluntary compliance for the most part. Yeah, there's one travel trailer, which is, Dennis and I spoke to the lady. It's actually been an ongoing issue for the better part of a year. They were issued a letter that outlined the right of way, which basically said, you can't do this, please do that. About 3 weeks later, Dennis and I went back out to the property, made contact with the owner of the travel trailer, who told us that she would have it moved by the end of that week. So I gave her the week. At the end of that week, there had been absolutely nothing done. So I tagged the vehicle. She then came into City Hall and swore up and down that it would be moved by 5 o'clock that day. On the day it was originally supposed to be towed, I said, okay, but if it is there at 8 a.m. tomorrow, I am calling a tow. And today I called for a tow truck. And I don't know if it has been towed yet or not, but yeah. So it's not my chosen outcome. Obviously, I'm very grateful when people just voluntarily comply, and Dennis and I get to go, yes.
Yeah.
So
More easy about it.
yeah,
That's the goal.
yeah.
You know, if we reached out to the county about airport with all the vehicles on both sides of the roads in the right of way.
The shipping container house, or
Yeah, all that.
oh no. I do know that Dennis stops by and talks to the son of the owner of the container
Well, the
property.
county right of way is really wide.
So is ours. Ours is like 80 feet or something. I could be wrong. I
So
don't
I
know.
think the containers and
Oh,
vehicles.
okay.
With what?
Total. Street, one way.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. But I do know the airport property is actually making progress. Dennis stops in regularly, and I've hinted at him to try and get them. So what they're doing is cleaning from the back of the property forward. So we don't see a lot going on in the front. And so I've kind of asked Dennis to nudge them about like maybe moving like forward to back. But Dennis did take me to the other properties that the son is now taking over, and he's making really good progress on them. So I'm
Done a lot of work.
yeah, so I don't intend to issue any type of an abatement notice or of any kind on that for now. I know that I've had some questions regarding one property on airport that's actually being cleaned up without like any communication from the city to do so. And then there is another property on airport that actually has a conditional use permit as a tow yard, which is a bit interesting. But I can certainly have Dennis reach out to the county contacts and see if they're interested in enforcing their right of way.
Brittany told me that the Rainbow Road burnt down property too is under.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
good.
learned yesterday that the county is in the final stages of the foreclosure process on, I believe it's 245 Rainbow. And yeah, so they're going to be taking that. Michelle has been tasked with reaching out to the county to find out like where we are on the totem pole. In terms of like when a property is foreclosed on, like what order the liens and whatnot get paid off on a property, just so we know. Because we've gotten some conflicting information. So that'll be good to know. On the code enforcement topic, I did meet with the county commissioners and the community development department for Coos County yesterday. And they are willing to take over Lakeside's planning and to assist us with abatement of properties and whatnot. So that is a conversation I will continue having to see if that's financially feasible for the city of Lakeside. We haven't gotten to those conversations. I did get to meet with I don't know his title at Bandon. He's not the city manager. He was either like planning or community development, whatever. They currently use the county for those services, and he said that they're very pleased with it. So
Great. Thank you for all your work. That is
Since we're going to be tagging and towing, is there something we can get out to the public so they know, whether it's like the Lake Towing or on your on the Facebook or something, so that people know that we are actively now going to start towing and tagging, and there will be consequences.
Yeah, I can certainly put together a notice. I know that the expert towing, I believe she's the owner, she might be the office manager. And then also our hearings officer, Gary Milliman, is going to work with me to make sure that our tow stickers are compliant and up to date as they should be. And then Gary's going to make sure that, you know, all of our information regarding like when a hearing needs to be filed for and whatnot is correct. So.
All right, Lakeside Water District.
I was unable to attend the water district meeting.
Right, there you go.
And that was my first time in the new fire hall. It's been rebuilt to seismic standards. It's a much brighter, nicer place than it used to be. Very glad to see that. Coming to a conclusion, there's a few more minor things to do there. The fire department is starting to organize the Easter egg hunt for this year and asking for donations of candy or possibly mine. All Easter eggs this year. Now we'll be in Tupper Park. This year may not be next year, but for now, that's what that's all I have.
Thank you. The 10 Mile Lakes Basin Partnership.
The main thing is as of February 10th, the lake is now 8.66 feet sea level with the weekend rains. Ordinarily, the high water is 12 feet. So the lakes are very low for this time of year. The wetland projects, construction is completed on the Benson 20 acres and the Big Creek 70 acres. Wetland restoration projects. They're planting willows right now. The little fun fact I saw is that the city allowed them to get willow branches from behind the sewer plant. They got like 6,000 of them, and there's what, 4 feet or something like that? Is that from what they are? Like 4 or 5 feet? And they planted 5,000 of them. They're doing like 800 a day.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and they're monitoring it to see which ones take and which ones don't.
Wow.
What the time of year you plant them, if that makes a difference. It's fascinating. I mean, I go there, I don't understand the thing they're saying, but it's interesting.
It's awesome.
So, and then, the TLBP has approved the 10 mile strategic plan. And the EO 10 mile step group meets monthly on the last Thursday of each month. Meetings are at 5:30 at the TLBP office.
Great, thank you. I guess we'll move into the senior board.
Yes, the senior board, it was really short. They have closed out the 3 Feathers grant they got. It's now closed out. They're going to be trying for another grant, and the grants are for the food bank. They are talking about getting cameras for the fenced area back here. They're going to be getting bids and putting in cameras because people are taking food items from the fenced area, and they were taking dog foods and stuff like that, and then they leave stuff. They're leaving garbage. So they want to get cameras for the back area. And the next breakfast is March 14th, same day as the library book sale at 8:30 to 11.
Great, thank you. 10 Mile Lake Association, Councilor Ward.
TLA met on February 4th. They reported that an ad hoc committee has been formed between the 10 Mile Lakes Association and Mile Lakes Basin Project, the East County Sheriff's Department, and the Lakeside Fire District to dredge the canal and make other improvements needed for navigation and safety. That thoroughfare is needed for emergency use as well, which is why all those folks are in on it. One of the examples they're considering as an improvement for safety is they're contemplating putting signal lights at the ends of the canal to let people know recreational boats shouldn't go in there when they're needed for emergency access. TLA passed a resolution to begin formation of a 10 Mile Lakes Association Stewardship Fund and Committee. And the fund is being established and managed for construction, repair, or maintenance for the veteran communities. And a social event has been confirmed for Saturday, June 6th from 2 to 5 at the Lakeside Lodge. The target audience is new residents to the area and those looking for venues for community engagement and involvement. TLA will be inviting business and community representatives to speak. And those invitations will go out sometime in March. They stated an intention to meet with the Lakeside business owners and discuss this event, and that probably happened earlier this week. And lastly, the next meeting is March 4th at 6 p.m. at the Lakeside.
Great. Thank you. I think the library board covered their base today. Lakeside Business Owners Council with that.
Well, yeah, I think maybe Shirley scooped me. I had reached out, I just haven't been able to make contact with them. But she was saying that the meeting was the third Wednesday at the lodge, and I didn't catch the time.
5:30.
5:30, yeah.
I believe it's
Third is what I wrote down.
That's what I have.
Well, I consider it the second.
Are they still on?
Is she, well,
Shirley, if you're still on, can you clarify
That's
that?
the third.
Yeah.
That wasn't the discussion at the meeting.
Okay.
Maybe between them and now I get changed.
Shirley, if you can hear us, can you clarify if it's the second or the third Wednesday of the month in the chat? Thank you. Who's looking? Messenger, but. Okay. Mayor and council comments. Councilor Miller.
Well, the library people all left, but man, that's quite a bunch of people that are doing a lot of good stuff here. And we need to really support them. Thank you, Mr. Kevins, for coming and introducing yourself. And thank you, Courtney, for all your hard work.
So earlier this week, I went down to the new coffee truck that we have. And it got me thinking that, we do have these new businesses that are coming in. And when I had the coffee stand, one of our biggest customers were the ATV people. I would like to open a discussion of possibly extending the route down to the junction to help the businesses down there as well. For future, discussion future. The library is just a wonderful program. I've said that a lot, but when my daughter was little, it was a lifesaver for me. And thank you everybody for your work.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to look into what we can do as far as extending the route, but maybe we can have a workshop about it. We'll put it on our next regular workshop agenda. If council wishes.
Just an idea.
Workshops are for, yes.
Yeah, we can discuss it in the workshop. Yeah. Right, is it okay?
Well, I had a thought, and maybe it's already happening and I'm not aware, so forgive me if that's the case. When relocating to a new area, it's always helpful to have information, contact phone numbers, to make settling in easier. And I was wondering if it would be helpful and a nice gesture from Lakeside City Hall to supply such a list. We could include the ATV route, a volunteer sheet, the Lakesidetonian, a list of restaurants with phone numbers, the Lions Club bingo times, etc. And it would be like a welcome to Lakeside packet. And if that's an acceptable idea, then I'll volunteer to chair a committee. And even if it's just a committee of one, if you give me the go ahead, I'll start now.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know if we currently do anything?
No, but that sounds like a great thing to discuss with the Lakeside Business Association.
I'm sure they would love to do that. I know a couple of really good graphic people too. That can make something really
I mean,
nice.
City Hall is happy to support that effort in any way we can, but I look at LBO as our local chamber, and so that's definitely something that would fall into their realm, so if they're not interested in doing it, then by all means, the city can certainly step in.
Well, yeah, hearing from the library was awesome. I didn't know there was that many people working over there, and like I said earlier, all the passion and just everyone really loves their job, which you don't see that often anymore. So it's great. Makes me happy. I did want to bring up, so the Spring League of Oregon City Conference is coming up mid-April. I applied for a scholarship and did not get it. And this would be the first conference that I've ever gone to that I did not get a scholarship in some way, shape, or form. Out of my, I think maybe there was one that I didn't get a scholarship for, but out of the 4 years that I've been up here, I've gotten scholarships every time. So I wanted to ask you guys, because I know that at this point in time, I do not intend on running again. And my term is up in November. So I can see two sides of the spectrum. You know, I'm not going to be here, so what's the point? But I really think someone should go from Lakeside, and I like being that person to kind of represent the city and just keeping our face known up there with the league. And it's always such a great learning opportunity. So I don't know what I didn't get a chance to look up what our training budget looks like, but I don't think we've spent much money out of it. And the conference registration is $350. And I would just ask for hotel costs, and then I'll pay the travel and food and all that stuff. But we don't have to decide on it now, but I did want to like bring up that point to you guys.
There's a chance you'll change your mind about renting, right?
There's a chance, a small one, but
And see, that's what I was talking to Courtney about earlier, is it shows our training budget is only $30.
Okay.
And so, but that's wrong.
Yeah,
So,
that's not accurate. That was one
Yeah.
of the things as to why we removed the financial statements. There's, I think about 1,400 at least available in travel, so there is funding for it. I did receive, well, it's not really a scholarship. The CIS conference is coming up in a couple of weeks, and they provide grant funding for the small cities, and so that was free. And I don't currently have any other interest in conferences for this fiscal year, so.
And you are going to try and get the budget training in-house.
Yes, but that's free anyway, so.
So just something to consider, registration is open, so if you guys all have like an idea of what your answer would be, it would be great to kind of get that now. If not, we can mull it over. And I think I have like another month until registration closes, so. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We have to do this now.
Well, it's, we don't need to make a motion or
Yeah.
anything, but I just wanted to like come before you guys because.
It's just a
technically,
consensus.
Yeah, I didn't know how people would feel about it, so.
Yeah, so it's 350, and then your hotel for how many nights?
And the conference is 2 days, the spring conference.
Where is it at?
Pendleton.
Oh, so yeah, you're gonna need the night before, maybe the night after.
Yeah, I'm
4 nights.
Yeah,
3
probably.
nights, right?
If it's 2 days,
Oh, that's.
you're talking a full day of travel.
Yeah,
You're definitely gonna want to go up the day before.
8-hour drive up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then depending on when the conference ends, you may want to stay that third night and come home the fourth day. So
Possibly, yeah, and
I guess three nights.
yeah, I'm open to not doing that, depending
It
on
would be
cost.
safe to
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it once from Reedsport. It's a long drive, but I stopped in the Dalles and spent the night. But I also left after work, so if you have the whole day, it might not be so bad, but
So you're asking to spend the conference in your hotel?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I always love representing Lakeside and learning a ton and bringing back thoughts and ideas for all of us. Okay, other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
I have no.
I appreciated the presentation by the library staff tonight. I certainly not fully understood the breadth of services that you're providing.
Yeah, the library is great. I appreciate everything they do and, knowing most of those people for a long time. The expert tolling, I had the occasion to use their services a day a few years ago when I wrecked my wife's car. They'll never be able to forget. They're good people.
Thank you. We are going to move into executive session, so I know you wanted to stick around and chat. You're more than welcome to. We're just gonna have to.
But we can have cake,
But we have cake.
so we can take a short recess.
Yeah, take a recess, so.
And take some cake.
Looks like a 10-minute recess.
You guys want to stick around for a piece of cake?
Yeah. You want a cupcake or cake?
Can't leave empty-handed.